Alright, everybody, welcome back. Now, this is a very important video, right? This is important. In the last video, I asked you for comments on what I could talk about in future videos, and if anyone has left any, I will address those in the next video. This is the last one I'm recording. I've chain record like the last 5 videos, and this is the last one I'm recording. This is a world premiere, though. This isn't anything that you've asked for. This is a world premiere. This is a world premiere of a two-part NBZ battle that for the first time in history will be shown as one part. This is a battle against NBZ versus Twashman, and when he originally uploaded it, he had to split it in two parts because it was pushing the boundaries of what YouTube would allow for epicness, and it had to be split in two. But through modern 2024 technology, have combined these two parts into one video, which is a big test because it's given me 13 minutes to talk into. I have to hold your attention for 13 minutes and 30 seconds. And I have no idea how to do it because NBZ is using a Dugtrio, which is one of the most skillless Pokemon ever. I do quite like using it. Never quite enough attack Dugtrio. But like that's kind of its charm. If it had more attack, it'd be really skillless and really annoying. But NBZ loves his arena-trapped Dugtrio, but it cannot deal with Heracross, so he goes into his nutcase, the physical wall, to take the close combat. And it does so with over half health, and he must be feeling pretty good about that now. Now, what's Nutcase going to do? I think Stealth Rock. Place your bets. He could go Explosion. There's the change out into Starmie. Explosion would have been great there, to be honest, to take out the Starmie. But Stealth Rock, he went safe. He played it safe. That is what NBZ has always done. He's always played it safe, him trying to get into video game production or whatever the hell he did. Marketing. He's a video game marketer. I mean, actually, that's what NBZ was about 3 or 4 months ago, the last time I spoke to him. And by spoke, I mean harassed him with a message on WhatsApp. But yeah, now he's probably like coding video games and making them himself. I don't know. He's going to be a big player. He's going to be a big player in video games. I mean, in a few years, there's only going to be like 3 video game companies, and they're all going to make microtransactions theme park. That's going to be the only game available. Microtransactions theme park. But NBZ will have produced it and will presumably be the one profiting from said microtransactions. So, they're all cute and cuddly when they're making YouTube videos in their bedroom about Pokemon, about Fortress versus Milotic, but they grow up and they microtransact the crap out of you. God damn it, NBZ. Anyway, we got a battle of water types now. Suicune versus Milotic. NBZ trying that Suicune's sweep strategy that we saw in video 1. That is NBZ's first video. His signature so far is a calm-minding Suicune. He ripped up bits of paper and wrote how good that was and showed it to the camera and said, Suicune for the win. But NBZ does not yet know that he is playing a master by the name of Twashman, and Twashman is having none of it and whirlwinds him away. Let's take a moment to talk about NBZ's opponent here, Twashman. Like, these were just names that were thrown out there, and like NBZ at this point still not narrating the videos, but you just got the sense that this Twashman one was like a special one. And like, it's weird how these usernames got thrown out back then, but like just by the way someone sort of whispered the name or said, oh my god, I've got a game against like Fart Boob 7000, and everyone's like, oh my god, Fart Boob 7000, that's insane. It's like Twashman was one of those. It's like, oh my god, it's Twashman. I mean, so yeah, two big players on the ONM forums where NBZ got his start in Pokemon YouTubing. I mean, what would NBZ's career be like if he didn't do YouTube? I believe NBZ has said in one of the interviews he did with me that like his YouTube channel did help him get a foot in the sort of industry that he works in now. Like, I think it showed he had a familiarity with with video games and how to build an audience, I think. I don't think it was like the critical factor, like NBZ's a smart guy, but I think it did help him. And, for those of us that grew up with parents who were like, what are you doing wasting your time playing Pokemon? Well, NBZ's got a pretty damn good answer to that. But yeah, let me talk about those interviews that I did with MBZ. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, on NBZ's channel there are a few interviews he did with Sanjeet. I can't remember how many, and that's what I want to talk about. I can't really remember them, um, because I think I did one, and I think I wasn't a very good interview. Like I was sort of too keen to like leap into his answers and talk over him. And I'm of the school of thought that like a good interview is where you let the other person talk and your questions kind of draw it out. And I wish I'd thought more about him. But I remember like in a second recording, like probably the second interview with MBZ I did, I thought, well, a good way of like shutting me up would be if I like sip a drink while I'm talking to him. So I poured myself the world's biggest whiskey, and while MBZ was talking, and if you're sick of hearing my voice right now, imagine if it's MBZ. That guy can talk. That guy can bore the pants off you. And yeah, so he's off. He's talking his merry way about the O&M forums and how it was great and how he loves Zelda Master Timmy and all those things. And I'm just sipping my whiskey, sipping my whiskey, sipping my whiskey. I'm trying to stay coherent. I think I just about manage it. You can go back and listen to them and skip to the end and see if I managed it. Look, check out part 2. You don't have to come back for part 2. We're already here, my friends. Twashman part 2 is here. Yeah, after that interview session ends, I stand up from my seat and I just like fall over like a bowling pin, like because I've drunk so much whiskey, and I wasn't really used to drinking that much in those days. You know what? Other fun videos you can go back and see when it's around when Gen 5 comes out, I think. And NBZ goes to uni for the first few times. He's like NBZ at uni. I would love to be a fly on the wall in sort of NBZ the uni years. Because he gets hench as fuck. Like, do you remember this? Like NBZ, like this. Like if you look in the early days, NBZ's first appearances on camera, such a weedy little guy. Like as I've said in one of these videos, I still think MBZ was quite a cool guy. But what a little fucking dweeby weedy guy he was. And then he goes to uni, and he must have like lived next to the gym. He must have had a gym buddy. Like MBZ got pretty hench. Goddamn, Numan. Yeah, what was I even saying? Like the image of NBZ's amazing muscles have pushed any other images from my mind. But the other thing NBZ did when he went to uni, which I don't know if he did before. I mean, I wasn't really NBZ's friend. This is all parasocial stuff. This is like what I've observed through his videos. Like NBZ's life could be completely different. Well, but I get the feeling NBZ didn't drink that much before YouTube. I mean, that has to be true, right? Because a lot of his time was spent recording and uploading Pokemon, so I'm pretty sure he wasn't out partying too much. But yeah, that changed when he went to uni. You could tell. So yeah, he's hitting the gym, he's hitting the shots. Yeah, I mean, I guess a pretty standard uni experience. It certainly went on long enough for MBZ. Weird Scottish degrees that last about 7 or 8 years. Must be nice. But yeah, I would love to have been a fly on the wall in MBZ the uni years. It just seemed like such a trippy, weird time for him and for the channel, I think. He'll probably tell me it was already boring. I don't know. I just can't imagine MBZ drunk. Like I can now, like, and mainly because I've actually heard it. Like we've seen the videos where he was a bit drunk, but what does that look like in a social setting? What's like MBZ drunk? Like, does he lean across the bar to the bartender? He's like, "Hey, you look like an Altaria." "Oh yes, me, I look like an Altaria. You're my best friend, man." What like how much does like the Pokemon come out? Like what comes out of MBZ when he's drunk? What's the real MBZ? What's he hiding behind that afro? Does he still have an afro? I think he did. Like I'm really struggling to remember MBZ's latest haircut. Now, this is really parasocial. I've talked about like moving on from the parasocial element of YouTube. I'm now trying to recall what MBZ's hair looked like in the last video I saw of him. So, old habits die hard. I think he's a little I think MBZ could clean up a little. I think he looked good cleaned up a little. He looked a little bit too corporate though. You got to watch it, but I don't know. MBZ. I think you could I think, if you haven't thought about your style in a while, MBZ, I'd just think about it. I'd think about it. mix it up a little bit. Just next time you're going past a John Lewis, just go in there. Just have a little look. Have a little look around. I mean, he's in London. You could go somewhere much better than John Lewis, but I'm trying to make it so that he doesn't have to spend a fortune on it. What the hell am I talking about? Once again, a Skarmory is facing me, which just seems to be like the enemy of this. Like, I have to go on these tangents because I come back to the battle and I'm still watching fucking Dugtrio versus Skarmory, and it's like, where's the fun in this? I mean, NBZ seems to be struggling in this game. Like, this is an epic game. I don't know who wins. I've forgotten. I once used to know who won pretty much every NBZ upload, but like, NBZ seems to be struggling if he's trying to knock out a Skarmory with a Dugtrio. Using Stone Edge after Stone Edge, hoping for crit after crit. Twash is still scared of something that MBZ has in his team because he's using spikes. He got the crit, and there's no Roost here, so NBZ is probably getting his... He's run out of moves. Was that a run out of moves? Has no moves left, and their struggle, and it does knock out the Skarmory. I couldn't quite tell if it knocked it out. It does knock it out. Is that the win? Doesn't look like the win because we're communicating. There's still more. There's still more here. Starmie, full health Starmie against Dugtrio. Surely that's got to be Dugtrio's game. The switch out. We're going to see the spikes. Even with all that spikes and Stealth Rock, surely Snorlax just has this on lock. Surely this is an MBZ win against Twashman, the legendary Twashman, surely falling to MBZ, but he does have something else in his locker, and what he's got is a Heracross. I don't think that was a good switch in there. I don't. Like, Heracross is surely the only way he was getting past the Snorlax. You had to let the Starmie die, Twashman. Like, you just had to... I mean, I've already forgotten what MBZ had, but, like, Heracross probably didn't have the hit points to take on everything, maybe. Maybe Twash was in a rock and a hard place, but I'm going to be very surprised if this Starmie beats the Snorlax. I mean, surely it doesn't. Surely it doesn't. Surely it doesn't, he says. I really do struggle to narrate these games, man. Like, I like the tangents more. Anyway, in the next video, hopefully, please, if you haven't, please, give me some things to talk about. Give me some questions. Give me some challenges to test my YouTube skills. Maybe I need to do some edits. Maybe I need to figure out how to do picture-in-picture. God, that'd be a big challenge because I don't actually know how to do that. But in these modern times, I'm sure something can tell me how to do that. Oh my god, the Starmie got a freeze, by the way. I didn't see that. I was saying surely Snorlax has us on lock, but no, Snorlax is frozen. I default to Gen 1 mechanics where freeze is permanent, but it isn't, is it, in Gen 4? You can thaw out, so there is still a chance for MBZ. He is frozen solid, though, with only 117 hit points, up to 147 from the lefties. Here's the Thunderbolt. Is it a crit? It is not a crit. He's on 92, but he's still frozen. Lefties will bring him back. It's 1-2-2 with the Snorlax here. Thunderbolt hits again, down to 61. No crit. Still frozen, though. Gets some lefties recovery, but he's now into only double digits with 91. Here's a Thunderbolt. It takes him down to 27. This could be it, folks, because he's still frozen. Can he take another Thunderbolt at 57? I'm not sure that he can, folks. I'm not sure that he can. He's gone. It's gone. And does MBZ have anything left? He does. He has Dugtrio. And Dugtrio goes down to 13. And surely it's all over here. There's the Ice Beam from Starmie. Could that Heracross have taken on the Dugtrio? It doesn't ultimately matter, because he loses to Twashman because of the freeze. All the hacks evened out in the end, according to MBZ. Wow. That was MBZ v Twashman. That was actually epic. I was trying to get you guys excited for the end, but I was getting a bit excited too, to be honest. Thank you so much for watching, if you did. And yeah, I will hopefully see you in the next video, as long as someone has commented on any of these videos so far. That's all. That's the criteria to continue. And if they don't, we move on, and I will do my new channel sometime. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.